enjoy, what did I say? What you have, and be a good audience member.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
C'est bon?
Asking me a bunch of questions has got to be over. I don't have any answers about that. You do it, you be a good listener, and a good audience member, and you're gonna know some of these songs that she's gonna sing for us.
Hi.
Hi, Mike. You coming?
I'm gonna start without. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Wait, hey, you know what? It's worse than.
Yeah, I know.
There she is.
Sorry.
You recognize me.
You're hard to forget.
Welcome, everybody, to the Two-Way Street Coffee House. Thanks so much for coming out tonight and braving the storm outside. It sure is coming down, so we appreciate you coming to see live music. We've had live music every Friday night in this room for 54 years. Woo-hoo. Yeah. So we are a listening room, so if you could please keep your conversations to a minimum or not at all when the performer is performing. And also turn off your cell phones, please. That would be really wonderful so that we don't have cell phones ringing in the middle of a wonderful song. We are pleased, beyond pleased, to welcome Two-Way Street favorite Katie Dahl to the stage tonight. So let's give a big round of applause for Katie.
Wow, everybody. What brave people. Why, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy snowy Valentine's Day. Here in the North Country, Mercury is dropping down. Boil the kettle, pour it out. It shatters when it hits the ground. And my words huddle in my chest, can't make 'em leave my mouth. Helen, let's go south. I seen you chopping wood, seen you sneaking brandy in your tea. I seen you sitting at the bar, nobody's hand on your knee. I've been feeling lonely, more lonely than I ever thought I'd be. Helen, come with me. Let's leave this little town behind. Make that highway roar. I take off your long johns in the backseat. What do you think the back Hitch our car beneath the stars, pitch a tent on the canyon floor. I've never done that before. I'm gonna let that river run, let my cheek find your chin, leave your shirt on the shore, shed our shame like a skin, let my hands find your hips, let the Milky Way spin. Heaven let me in. Here in the North Country, day turns to night, turns to day. I've seen you walking pretty and slow beside the frozen bay. Helen, I think I love you. Helen, could we run away? To the canyon floor, to the Milky Way, to the canyon floor, to the Milky Way, to the Milky Way. Well, someday, that's what I wish I'd say. Thank you. Well, let's see. It is Valentine's Day. My son is 8, and we had like a big week of Valentine's creation. When you're 8, it's a very important holiday. And he said, and they have it off from school because, President's Day on Monday, so I think they just wanted to do all the days off in one weekend. And so it makes him think that Valentine's Day is, federal holiday level important. And he said to me as he was creating, it must have been last night because he had gotten all his Valentines at school. And he said to me, Mommy, you have a Valentine for me, right? And I was like, well, I don't actually. And he was like, his little face crumpled, and I was like, oh, God. I said, it's not Friday, it's not Valentine's Day yet, like I don't have it today. I don't have a Valentine on the day before Valentine's Day, duh. But I will get one, That's when everyone gets them. Anyway, so I have been reminded of Valentine's Day, and this is a song of love for a very important lover in my life, the Green Bay Packers. They are a fickle lover, and constant in their own way, So. It's also about snow, which is an important thing to love if you love Packers, I think. Or the Bears, for that matter. You gotta like the snow. There's a snowstorm on the way tonight. The shanty's on the bay. The Leo Free goes out, but I'm not driving anyway. The little house is shining bright in the clean Wisconsin cold. Their lights are red and blue and white and green and gold. This morning at the Farm and Fleet, I bought a warmer coat. December came on cold this year, and it isn't letting go. There's There's heat tonight on these tiny streets of town, turning like a wheel, whole city rushing like a river toward the field. This old town is wearing thin, this old town is looking tired. Most days I feel thin and tired too, but not on Sundays on Lombardy Avenue. My dad left me this little house and his father's gun and these seats in section 402, row 181. When I feel alone sometimes, I think of him and I, eating hot dogs as we watched those footballs fly. This old town is wearing thin, this old town is looking tired. Most days I feel thin and tired too, but not on Sundays on Lombardy Avenue. Once a week it's nice to know who the good guys are. Once a week it's nice to feel alive. Once a week it's nice to sit beneath the stars in that big Wisconsin sky. Well, there's a snowstorm on the way tonight. There's shanties on the bay. The Leo Frigo's out, but I'm not driving anyway. I'm just walking for a little while on this good old patch of ground. Moon rising up, old Curly looking down. This old town is wearing thin, yeah, this old town is looking tired. Most days I feel thin and tired too, but not on Sundays on Lombardy Avenue, but not on Sundays on Lombardy Avenue. Thank you. Hello to the live stream audience, by the way. You are awesome too. But the in-person audience is extra awesome. But it's all levels of greatness, you know, you just ascend. It's not a competition. So let's see, what else is there that's important for you to know about me? I live in Door County, Wisconsin. Has anyone ever been to Door County, Wisconsin? That's what I thought. Yes, all right. I mean, very few people from Chicago have been there, actually, so it's surprising. That's a joke. That's a joke, everyone. Joke, dry humor. Yes, you know, they're not there as much this time of year, but some brave people that you clearly are. I drove down today, and I travel around and I play a lot of places. I think you all probably know this about me already, but you know, it's nice to have a little context. I just got done with a run of shows with my friend Peter Mulvey. Has anyone ever heard Peter before? He's so talented and good at driving. He has a lot of important skills. And I'm going to play a song that was inspired by Peter, actually. A few years ago, my dad died, and I was sort of in the market for a new song. And, you know, if you're going to have a dad die, it's nice if you're in the market for a new song when it happens, because it brings up a lot of feelings, right? And that was considerate of him to think of the timing of my songs. It was around my son's 6th birthday, and Peter sent me a text. It said, "Happy birthday to the young tyrant. And so sorry to hear about your dad. Life at both ends of the hallway." I was like, well, okay, I'll take that. I have a son who almost died, had a dad who did. Both times what was crazy was the way the lights stayed lit, how my breath kept on coming while I was listening for his. There inside the corridor, wrapped in my mother's shawl, pictures of the dogs and kids and grandpas on the wall. I felt something stirring from the far end of the hall. Both doors open, both doors open. Well, sometimes I get to worrying. I'll wanna leave my bed. Those bar lights are a beacon, might start blinking in my head. Might go looking for a reason to start pulling at the thread. I might be standing in the parking lot, her hair all dark and warm, field breathing heavy from the coming summer storm. Then before I know it, a rustle in the corn. Both doors open, both doors open, both doors open, and the wind is coming through. There are currents in the river. Most days I don't jump in, most days I forgive her, most days the white dove wins, most days I keep the window shut, don't let that tempest spin. But when I fiddle with the locks and find they're coming loose, sometimes I steal the eggs out from beneath the golden goose. Sometimes I bite the apple and it tastes like the truth. Both doors open, 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 and the wind is coming. Thank you. Yes. Now, on to the subject of past Valentine's Days, aka exes. Yes? That's what we all want to hear about on Valentine's. Questions, comments, concerns? Anyone have any needs? Yes?
We love your music.
Thank you. Thank you. I paid him to say that. That's a great job. I'm just kidding. I didn't. Thank you very much. I'm fond of it myself. Thanks, everybody. Oh yes, that's nice. A narration of the tuning. This is as if there weren't enough reasons to have mixed feelings about your exes. When I wrote this song about my ex-girlfriend, I I put the song in a tuning that's a whole step lower than normal tuning, and I blame her. She made me do it. There should be a word for this. For driving out of Minneapolis into your town, past the merry-go-round, station wagon windows down. There should be a word for this. For the feeling in my chest when I'm knocking on your door and the creak in your floor reminds me that I missed you. What the word is, I don't know. The word for two old birds walking alone. If there's a word, well, you should know. For that night 17 years ago, why you turned to me and then why you turned away again in the Minneapolis snow. 'Cause I could write a whole damn book. But by the way I must have looked, standing there in the gray, you walking away, I could write a whole book. What the word is, I don't know. The word for two old birds walking along. Don't you have a word for this? You should have a whole thesaurus. I'm not asking for another kiss. It's your words I miss. Your words I miss. Well, there should be a word for the kind of stone, the kind of rock that we both own. We pull it on a sled, drag it into our bed so we can feel less alone. Now we're 17 years on. I'm just dragging my rock along, wishing somebody would see the stone of me, way that you have all along. What the word is, I don't know. The word for Martha playing on the radio, dancing in your kitchen, cooking broth from bone. The word for two old birds. We're just two old birds walking alone. Thank you. Let's see. Well, this is another song in the same tuning. Naturally, they must go and write in a row. Tuning. That's my life, man. Tuning. Well, maybe I should. Maybe you should write a song about that. Well, I mean, who says you can't write a song on the drums, man? You got a voice.
Well, I do.
Yeah. I like this song because I get to do that. This part. I wrote it just so I could do that. I forgot I loved the mountains until I met you. I forgot I love the fall and the rise. I was sleeping in the lowlands, dreaming of green, green eyes. I forgot that I was hungry until I met you. I forgot I was a ravenous sea. Suddenly I'm thinking I could swallow up the mountains, drink them down to the heart of me. And the chestnuts and the white wine, is that your hand reaching over the line? It's a new one, so but I will remember the second verse, I promise. I knew a lady in a lighthouse wearing shiny shoes, knew another wore a silver ring. And I want to know you, well, you're not wearing anything. And now we're sitting in your kitchen and I'm trying to keep it hidden. The candle's burning down in the jar, and I'm breaking up the minutes into little loaves and fishes, trying to make them into more than they are. The chestnuts, the white wine, and your hand reaching over the line. And you couldn't know that when I was a kid, a girl brought me down by the lake. And you couldn't know that when you sing my song, it's more than a body could take. Because that night by the water, she fell, I caught her. I knew that she was another lost daughter. And I started humming, I started buzzing, I started to feel as if something was coming. And then I got scared, I started running, ran all the way to today. With the chestnuts and the white wine, the chestnuts and the white wine, the chestnuts and the white wine, yeah, the chestnuts and the white wine. Will you take my hand, pull me over the line? Hey, 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 hey. I forgot I loved the mountains until I met you. I forgot I loved the fall and the rise. Now we have to do some new tuning. I know, man. What a drag. Yeah, so I'm starting a little run of shows, and I play in Oshkosh, Wisconsin on Sunday at 12:34 p.m., believe it or not. It is a concert called the 1234 Concert Series, which you would think to yourself, well, then it all makes sense, because that's what the name of the concert series is. But you might still wonder to yourself, but why did they create a concert series that was called that? And you wouldn't, if you have I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, it's very fun. I'm doing that on Sunday, and then I'm going to Montreal for the Folk Alliance International Conference. Is anyone else in this room going to that? Are you going? Woo! Randy Steika, give him a hand on the sound over there. I love him so. If you ever go to a conference and these folk conferences are so nutso because they're folk conferences, so you'd think they would be sort of sedate, like, matinal daytime things. No, you are like forced to stay up at like if you go to bed, if you say to a person, they're like, how late did you stay up last night? And you say it would like 2, they're like, oh, that's not bad. Like that's like a very early bedtime. And if you are sort of lacking, if you're at one of these conferences and you're lacking stamina, like if, let's say, you want to go to bed at the abhorrent hour of like midnight, that what you need is Randy Steika. You need to find Randy Steika. And Randy Steika has an endless well of enthusiasm and energy, and he will somehow get you to stay awake longer than you thought ever would be possible, which is something that in the past you'd only been able to do with Red Bull, but now you can do it with Randy Steika. He's cheaper. He's just around, He has way fewer adverse effects on your nervous system in general. I find that Randy has only a positive effect on my nervous system. All right.
LGBTQ, yay.
I've been trying to lose weight since I was 8, 'cause I saw a picture of myself jumping into a lake. I've been playing in the water for most of the day. Now the sun had set down most of the way. Big orange ball sinking into the gray. Me just jumping into the waves. I threw the picture away. Someone must have taught all the other little girls the rules, how to eat their cake and have this too. Someone must have taught all the other little girls what to do, how to want them all but take only a few, how to be flat and thin and new. Except that all the other girls seem to feel bad too. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. I'm not the kind of girl who cares what anybody else might say. I only hate myself a few dozen times a day. Then a few dozen more for feeling that way. Get hit by the bullet and the ricochet. It's a game I don't know how not to play. How does anybody learn to say, hey, not today? It's a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. It's such a waste of time. It's such a waste, and I don't have that kind of time. Nobody has that kind of time. I've been trying to lose weight since I was 8, 'cause I saw a picture of myself jumping into a lake. Thank you. Well, you know, it's every once in a while there is a circumstance. It's not a common circumstance, but every once in a while, the folk music profession is not as lucrative as one might hope. I mean, usually I'm raking it in, but every once in a while, I have to do something else for money, and obviously the place that you can really make a lot of money fast is in musical theater. That's where you can... Am I right, Alex? Yes, thank you. Bring it in. So I write plays. You know, that's my day job. And musicals, in fact. And I'm writing, I have 3 or 4, depending on how you count, in process right now, which is too many. That's too many to have in process. But I've fortunately finished 2, so we know it can happen. Most recently, I wrote one called The Fisherman's Daughters. And, oh, why, thank you. Woo, thank you. Well, there just may be an actor from The Fisherman's Daughters in the house tonight. I don't know. Just look over. That's the one. Yes, good job. I was going to play it cool, Alex, but... yes. It was done at Northern Sky Theater in Door County this past summer and a few summers ago. What is coming up is that it's going to be at the Milwaukee Repertory Theater in January 2026, which is very exciting. And I know the question on all your minds is, but will Alex be in it? And the answer is yes, he will. So, I mean, you can all rest easy tonight. And it is a story of sisters. And really, it is like, you know how Frozen, the movie Frozen, is a love story between sisters. Like the one sister thinks that she, has to find true love's kiss, and she's looking at all these lame-o men, and in fact, she needs her sister's love. Like that's the true love. That is just like my play, and that may or may not be because I was watching Frozen nonstop in my house. Well, my kid didn't like it, but I just watched it all over and over again. No, he liked it. And in particular, these sisters that I have written about have to find solace and solidarity in each other because they are working in a tough circumstance, which is that they live in 1908 in a part of Fish Creek, Wisconsin, that the state of Wisconsin would like to make into a state park, the second state park in the state, and they are women who are not married, they don't have kids, and they live in this house that their dad built 30 years ago, and he was an immigrant, and the dad passed away, exactly, and so they are all out in the woods, all by themselves out in the woods, and they don't want to leave. And they're based on real sisters, and when I read about these ladies, I was like, well, yeah, I understand not wanting to leave. That makes sense. On the other hand, I'm very glad that they made a park. So it is, I had to, figure out through drama what all my feelings were about it. It's all about my feelings all the time, in case you hadn't gathered that. So anyway, it's like Frozen, but with a Wisconsin eminent domain twist. That's the, the type. So this is a song that the older sister, who's been living by herself in the woods, because the younger sister has come to Chicago. Oh my God, to teach. And she's left the older sister alone for a couple years, and there's a lot more behind that, but you'll have to see the play to know what it is. This is a song that the older sister sings when she's lonely at the beginning of the play, and it's called "The Fisherman's Daughter." I am the fisherman's daughter. I know waves and wind. I know salt and barrels and tin. I know the ways of the water. I know blades and twine. I always was his rock of Gibraltar, and he was mine. I know the fisherman's story, a boat across the sea. Cut a clearing, built a cabin, planted an apple tree. He learned how to fish from Doc and from Dory. Took a wife at 33. She died at 40, left him 2 daughters, Nora and me. Nora, always a smart one, took a job in Chicago. I stuck around. Now it's been 2 years that Papa's been gone. She went back to the city the very same day that we laid him in the ground. When we were the fisherman's daughters, we knew how the days would end. Light a candle in the window, guide him back home again. We knew how to pray he'd be safe on the water. We knew how to pace the floor. But now, Nora, I don't know if I should leave a light in the window for you anymore. Thank you. That's where the higher voice sister comes in. I am the fisherman's daughter. But that's not my range, so we don't bring her in the Katie Dahl show. Okay, we're gonna do what I'm gonna We're gonna do one more song and then take a break. I will be over there by the piano for for at least part of the break. Happy to sell you my wares, which I have shirts that say Katie Dahl has friends. It's evident. Only friends come out on a very wintry day. And stickers. Thank you for pointing that out. And I also have music in the form of vinyl and compact discs. Both of these are ancient forms of technology that play music by spinning around. And if you think to yourself, I don't have a CD player anymore, and I don't have a turntable anymore, and why would I buy a disc or a vinyl? I understand. And perhaps you would like a shirt, or perhaps you would like, to give me $10 and not take a CD, whatever. Guilt-free streaming for the rest of your life. And I have so those are the things that cost money on that side, and then on this side, I've got free things, which include stickers and a mailing list. I bet a lot of you are on the mailing list already. Raise your hands if you're on the mailing list. Okay, well, I won't put too hard a sell on then, but if you're one of the 1/3 of people who haven't, not even 1/3. If you're one of the one person who haven't signed up on my list, you could do that, and I tell you when I'm here. Also, finally, one more thing. I lead trips to various places. This summer, I'm leading one trip to Ireland. There's only one spot left for that one, so sign up fast if you're one person. I'm going to Scotland. There's several spots left for that. I'm co-leading it with Julie Wolfe, great musician. And I'm going on a cruise down the Rhine River, which I'm co-leading with Jeff Herbst from Northern Sky in Door County. So take a brochure about that. I will, and you've already, Betsy has demonstrated. They're beautiful brochures, right? Do you feel better now that you have one in your hand? Do you feel like a sense of strength and like you can accomplish your day? Yeah. You could use them to scrape the snow off of your window when you get outside. Okay. One more song. What will I do? I think, so this is a song about Door County restaurants, and I wrote it in 2010 when they tried to put a Subway restaurant in Door County, and it would have been the only chain north of Sturgeon Bay, and I felt like, don't do it, everyone. And they had a town board meeting about the whole dilemma, and I wrote this song as my public comment, and they said, does anyone have any public comments? And I said, I have a song, and they were like, oh, okay, whatever, lady. We got goats up on the rooftop, we got whitefish in the bay, we got spotted cows to fill our cup at the end of every day. A white gull roosts at the end of Main Street, just a block from summertime. Autumn days that flow like water, winter nights that glow like wine. We got singing by the fireside, we've got dancing in the barns. Sometimes the northern lights go rolling like a sky-high ball of yarn. Some folks pray for rain on Monday, some just take it as it comes, straight from the mighty hand of God to the top of his thumb. See, Door County's in the thumb of Wisconsin. Yeah, I say keep the door wide open, I say welcome, come inside. I don't want to be unfriendly, I'm not trying to be unkind, but I say some things still are sacred. Please don't try to chain me in, I'll break my bread at hometown tables in the company of friends. My grandma rests up on the hillside, I'll be with her by and by, but for right now she's just dreaming. I think she's wondering why we'd give up all this gold for just some flashing in the pan, why we'd trade this milk and honey for a supper from a can. I say keep the door wide open. I say welcome, come inside. I don't wanna be unfriendly. I'm not trying to be unkind, but I say some things still are sacred. Please don't try to chain me in. I'll break my bread at hometown tables in the company of friends. I know we are not the center. I know this is not the end. I know winds are always changing. I know strong trees have some bend. Well, there are wars across the ocean. There is terror in the sky. Folks are building up their fences. There are bigger fish to fry. But this is the home I've searched for. I will not be misled. Sometimes the place that matters most is where we choose to break our bread. I say keep the door wide open. I say welcome, come inside. I don't wanna be unfriendly. I'm not trying to be unkind, but I say some things still are sacred. If you try to chain me in, I'll break my bread at hometown tables in the company of friends. I'll break my bread at hometown tables in the company of friends. Thank you. Have a good break.
Let's hear it for Katie. And as was mentioned, there is a cornucopia of wares on the piano, so please come visit and also refill your snacks. The bathrooms are down the hall and on the left, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes or so.
We don't have a sticker on our car. You guys have stickers on the dresser, right? Or on your little chest and dresser. Right?
Yes, there's no subway.
You need to my concern is that you're not going to be able to sit nicely through the second set as a good audience. I think you're being pretty good so far, but I see you getting really rusty right now. And there's some stations and you're going to need to stop that. And if you're unable to stop that, then we're going to have to go.
There's no subway. Yeah, we couldn't get it clear. Yes, it's our performance early January next year. Yeah. I keep track of him for nothing.
Do you have a job for him?
No, I'm fine. It's just I'm trying to think of a way to let Navi know that while it's great to be enthusiastic and to be upbeat, it's not always appreciated or appropriate to be talking very
We'll try not to do that. Yeah. Everything he's doing. Why, thank you.
really trying.
I'm not.
Physical one? Yeah.
Which is the one that you like best?
This one that, this one, we have that.
Julie
Oh, you have that one, yeah.
Yeah. Big Julie Wolf.
Oh, Ray.
That's how I found you.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Well, thanks to that one. I like this one the best.
And sometimes, and some people, you know, find that fine, and
Kind of all of them in different
maybe
ways,
even
of course, but. Yeah, right.
great, you know,
Yes.
like, hey,
That's the thing.
come on, come on.
Did I say
I don't,
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
I'm not, you know, like, I'm not,
50.
like,
Thank you very much. Feel free to take a sticker if you want.
I just don't.
Oh, please do. Devin Tracy.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. I will.
But at least you can tell what they're saying, 'cause I can say what's the thing.
I love it.
How you doing? Thank you. Oh. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Here, I've got a 5 for you. Oh, thanks so much.
Little rhythm exercise.
Is one
I'm gonna buy
fifty,
some vinyl, but I think I
fifty,
Yeah, you do have the vinyl.
Was it
Hello.
exact one.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
from very far away. How was the rep announcement?
It was fine. You know, I mean, it was fun. They did not say my name.
I figured this was a well-run.
Like, they said name of, like, all the other playwrights, and then they're like,
That's weird.
and also there was the very funny
Clara and Lily.
Clara and Lily
Yeah.
situation, which has not really been addressed. Like, now they just took out the names, but they still have bizarre, like, descriptors of their personalities that don't match them. Anyways, but whatever, I'm very
One of
happy.
y'all saw the show.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Describe what you saw.
Yeah, well, the playwright
Yeah,
Lily
I
thing
don't
was
have much
like,
experience
like,
with that.
no,
It's like if
no way.
There was no even like
really perform
early
well.
weird version. where
No,
there was
no, they always
no
had
people
that.
on Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, they want, I know.
And funny. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Good people.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah, do take a sticker, thank you.
I'm putting this
Yeah.
everywhere.
Okay.
It's annoying too, though.
there's also like there's.
Hi. No.
Yeah.
Gave a sticker for sure.
There was trying, I don't know, I threw
Yeah.
myself.
Did you get, all you got is some
Thank you. That's so nice.
stickers.
You the 3 for 30 deal? Perfect.
She's a nut.
Yep.
She taught it.
Katie, sure guitar
Some of the stuff that he's saying
It's a calling. She used to
not
sing, yeah.
really has it,
And she was on the wall.
to do with
What? I've been playing a while since then, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't know songwriter.
it's always, well, she was kind of singer here.
Oh, I'm listening.
Indian
Yeah.
University.
Joan got it.
But he does tons of music.
Remember when I was, yeah, no, am I one? No. I hated writing,
And so, it's hard to find it.
took a slow trip
They're
class.
small. You miss one. I mean, like, there's lots of people.
I just say,
There'll be a lot of
I got
sometimes you can hit it.
she was kind of a nerd and
It's definitely a small world, so it would be very scary.
get into it.
Please.
Yeah.
Key. A lot of things in
There was, we're going to enjoy it. I like your,
So like even the smaller
get, you know,
theaters,
Hi.
even
eyes on these people with some. Woohoo!
your glasses
No, I tried so
did it?
hard,
No,
but
that's
good.
Yeah.
Get somewhere.
I bet that makes you not.
So bad. Like today, I just found out I can't drive a school bus anymore. My CDL.
yeah.
Well, they took my CDL, but they took my, well, now I probably can't. But I still have it.
why?
You know, it's like,
Take you to the hopping
art business is fun.
Pressure.
No, my dad told me I need, you know, I have so much
Open more.
At least
going
when I'm
wrong.
down.
It's me.
More on the north side.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Some food's so hard to get away
Now
from.
my niece
Sure
is
is.
a teacher.
Yeah.
You know, what's her
Really
name?
nice.
I love this photo.
Really.
So.
Yeah.
I did.
Sorry, one in blue.
Oh, I had this one friend that used to stuff pizza with. He stopped, that's over.
But, it's a long
But I guess, you know,
my
I thought I lost weight.
and Broadway.
Hey,
Sure.
well done.
So I know how far away it
I
is.
wish I could stay in touch with somewhere. You're, where is it, you're in Wisconsin?
York County, northeast Wisconsin.
I mean, northeast,
Yeah. Do
where
you,
I
do
work.
you have
is
email?
where
You can sign up on my
they
email
the
list.
west end.
Oh,
Are
okay.
you
So
kicking the
getting
mask
off
or?
at
Is it, I think I have.
the other day, that
Yeah.
couldn't even
You're like,
That's acceptable.
like where,
Past Green Bay.
what, past north of Green Bay?
Past, yeah.
Long,
Walking until 4 o'clock
the
in the
whole state is full of trees.
It is. Cows and woods, that's what we got.
Oh, the dairy state, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Thought about doing those little promos. I have, I don't, my friends who do them, like my friend Mara, says people don't buy them.
And then she
You
deletes
do?
it.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the day.
Yeah.
When I visited Mara, it's 1995.
Okay,
the
well,
day
that's
Alice
good to know.
was born.
You can, and it works for you to
I think
put
I,
it into the
like,
car. There's like, it's like, just
Probably-
the USB.
in the USB?
Yeah, okay, great.
Like-
Okay, I will take that.
No.
That's
Different.
right.
Door County.
Yeah,
Don't I?
don't forget.
All the things.
Yeah.
There's so many choices. I would like to buy a wine.
Are you sure? Oh, that's so nice. What'd you say?
So much.
I'm in all three.
I have like
I haven't seen myself without a facial hair.
It's in there, like his little smile thing, he was like kind of.
Yep, I'm at the Oscars. We're not doing an indoor show during the summer this year.
And that's how.
Thank you very much.
Let's see here.
Katie, take care.
Oh, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.
See, or maybe I try to, I don't do the computer very well, but, maybe I'll stop back, I don't know what to do. I'll try to find out,
Check on my website or, yeah.
see what I can do.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for being here. Drive safe.
Yeah.
you have however many. Great star.
Hey, hey, Alex, not to interrupt.
I'm right there with you.
I'm being summoned. It's like jury duty, 30 years old.
Turning 40.
Hello, Alex.
So nice being back. I am, are you happy? No, what could ever be a problem?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Alright.
Read a parents so that it's about sing.
I'll see ya.
Hey, take care. Safe drive home.
Thank you.
Hopefully it's not snowing.
I think it's gonna snow tomorrow night. You know,
Yeah, it's next Sunday.
Hey, Navi?
Yeah, we're gonna do this French orgy song.
Yeah, okay. It's the chocolate friend.
Take care.
No,
he was just saying thank you.
Mom, she gave me chocolate.
Another one. All right, we gotta be done with that now.
May not win. It's gonna be my friend Matt. Put it on my. Everybody's part is really exposed. I'm gonna put the stick on my tenderness.
Tell everybody, go outside and flag down a snowplow driver.
No, mom, do you have a picture of my drunk kid? My mom may have a picture. And it's Tamil. It's Tamil. Made in China. Yeah. Tamil's always made in
I've
China.
never heard of China. Where is that?
I don't know, but we're gonna, there's something, there's gonna be some tariffs.
You're right.
It's in Japan. It was made in
Should
Japan.
I start?
Or
should I wait?
I think there's an official like.
Like an announcement.
You just gotta talk about all the other programs.
Oh, yeah, okay, great.
But it's just taking like music random tomorrow.
Oh, is there a
And barn dances, sing around. I should get out of the camera shot right now.
All right, we're going to get started with another set from Katie, but I wanted to talk about a couple events coming up in these here parts. Next week, I don't know where that came from, but whatever. Okay, so next week we have Jack Kennedy. He's going to be here, and then the week after that, Sarah Morris. So you're not going to want to miss those. We have sing-arounds and song circles in this very room, first and third Saturdays for the sing-arounds, and the second Tuesday of every month for the song circles. And those are fun. You can just bring your instruments. You can try out new songs. You don't even have to bring an instrument. You can just come and listen and hang out. So that's always a really good time. Randy, tell us what's going on at Acoustic Ren tomorrow. Woo! Woohoo!
Tomorrow, we've got the David Francie Trio from Wisconsin. At the Wisconsin. Jeez, yes.
At the Wisconsin.
Too much Katie in my head. From Canada. But we're sold out in person, but if you live nearby and show up with the weather, chances are we'll have seats.
Okay,
But
so
I wouldn't drive 2 hours to get there.
So
because you
for
might not get it.
for those who might not have heard online, Acoustic Ren is officially sold out for tomorrow night. But if you live in the area, you might perchance get a seat with the weather, because puppy dog eyes, maybe. But seats are not guaranteed, right? Is that correct? Okay, so now we're ready for Katie.
Oh, wait. Amazing. Okay. Why, thank you. I'm glad to be back. It's better than the alternative. Jodie Foster moved into my head when I was 14 with her blue jeans and her honey hair. We both had green eyes and freckly skin. We both spoke French. We were basically twins, Jodie and me, the perfect pair. Jodie Foster trembles when she's about to cry. So do I. Jodie Foster speaks to me. She seems tough, but she's sweet to me. Jodie Foster calls my name. She's a prostitute. She counts cards, talks to cannibals, but it's never hard to see how we're the same. Jodie Foster always finds a way to make it through. Me too. Jodie doesn't want to speak about the man who did that big bad thing. I don't know why they won't leave her alone. And Jody doesn't want to shout about anything she's sad about, but I do. I want her to know. Jody turns the saddest things to diamonds, hard and bright and shining, right up there where anyone can see. Jody, won't you watch me cry? Be my witness, testify. Won't you make a diamond out of me? Jody, I'm just trying to find a way to make it through, just like you. Jodie Foster moved into my head when I was 14 with her blue jeans. Thank you. Well, I am not feeling the most reassured about the country's future that I've ever felt. What a time. I feel like my music and my onstage self have not caught up to the realities of the world. And frankly, my offstage self also has not caught up. But it also seems strange not to acknowledge, like, what are we living through? There it is. I've acknowledged it. I did write a song. About how you can call. None of you. I don't think any of you are Wisconsin residents, but if you were, I wanted my fellow Wisconsinites to be able to call their representatives often, so I wrote a song about how you could call Ron Johnson, and it goes 20. No, I think it needs to be higher. 20-222-45323. Whether you're in Elkhorn or Milwaukee, 20222-45323. That's how you call Ron Johnson, the senator from Wisconsin, 20222-45323. Thank you. I wrote it myself, y'all. Let's see. So this is a song I wrote a long time ago, and I have a friend who is he's a very tall guy. He's an actor. Alex, it's not you. I realize this is sounding weird, yeah, no, not him either. And he's I don't think you've ever worked with this person. And he's a really beautiful guy and really talented and really charismatic, like the kind of guy when you're at a party with him that he is the one that you sort of want to be around. And he also is he also can really take up all the space in a room and make you want to strangle him once in a while. And in this way, in the fact that he's like a big, beautiful creature whom I deeply love and feel very irritated with, he reminds me of America, and sort of captures my feelings of frustrated love. So this is a song. I don't know if it's about him or the country, but you can decide. Well, I hear they lit some fireworks on the bicentennial, on the bicentennial, that night by Manistee. Yeah, your parents lit some fireworks on the bicentennial in that little blue tent. That's how you came to be. And I think America found its way into your blood, made its way into your blood that night by Manistee. I think America is as rich as the red clay mud after a springtime flood way down in Tennessee. I think you're shouting from that high cliff 'cause you're sadder than you seem. I think you hate to see the sun lift because it wakes you from your dream. Well, I knew boys like you in high school. They were all so beautiful, so sweet and beautiful when they were feeling brave. And all those boys I knew in high school could be as mean as a baited bull, as loaded as a freighter's hull in Lake Michigan waves. Oh, land so green and gracious, makes you want it all. Beneath the sky so spacious, it makes you feel so small. Now you act so holy in this age of the millennial, in these days of the plentiful, before the hurricane. I think you're just feeling lonely, watching all those dark clouds roll over the mountaintop toward the fruited plain. You are the dark and shining sea, you with the breaking heart, 'tis of thee I sing. So maybe you should light some fireworks in your king-size bed, beneath the quilted spread that your mother made. Yeah, find your girl and light some fireworks. You could lay down your sweet, sweet head. Shine some light in the night above this home of the brave. Shine some light in the night above this home of the brave. Hey, shine some light in the night above this home of the brave. Thank you. Well, I have, on Valentine's Day, I think I should sing this song that I wrote for my wedding, which happened 11 years ago. Why, thank you. 11th year's the hardest. No, just kidding. Everything is great, actually. It really is. I feel very lucky in my partnership, and sort of amazed that I am as lucky as I have been. So I wrote this song for our wedding. You are not the handsomest man that I've ever seen. I am not the happiest now that I've ever been. Happy Valentine's Day. You've never quite been the type, makes me weak in the knees. No, you make me strong as Lake Michigan and as tall as the trees. I had been watering rose bushes outside of town. I had been scratching at seeds that were still in the ground. You were a dandelion flower, suddenly there. As strong as a weed and as light as a wish on the air. Oh, my darling, if we're lucky, a lifetime is long. If we're lucky, we cannot believe how quickly it's gone. Every ordinary day, I'll wear this ordinary band. We'll go from dust to dust, hand in hand. I've been married so long, I don't remember the last verse. Now I do. I remember that day that you stood hanging clothes on the line. The weather vane creaking above and the cornfields behind. You smiled so sweet at the sun as it started to die, and the light fell so bright on your back as you led me inside. Oh, my darling, if we're lucky, a lifetime is long. If we're lucky, we cannot believe how quickly it's gone. Every ordinary day, I'll wear this ordinary band. We'll go from dust to dust, hand in hand. Every ordinary day, till we walk those Jordan River sands. We'll go from dust to dust, hand in hand. Thank you. Oopsies. Wow, it landed right on that music stand. There are many things that I love about the man I married, but let me tell you what I don't love. Just kidding. I I think that my favorite, one of the most amazing things about him is that he loves this next song, which is my newest song, and I think there are not a ton of cisgender straight men who would love this song, that if their wife wrote it, but he does. So. I mean, he said he does. Turns out I married a man. That isn't what I meant to do. I see women when I'm dreaming, women when I'm waking too. And if I had to start again, I'm not sure he's what I'd choose. But we don't get to start again, and I wouldn't want to. What they say about girls like me is that we can't commit, that we'll bark up any old tree just for the hell of it. Well, I'm not looking to bark, but yes, I miss a woman's touch. No lover is everything, even one who is enough. He is a river, he is cool and deep, but there are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. On my wedding day I wore a dress. These days I wear a suit. Pretty sure I'll never wear a dress again. Pretty sure I never wanted to. There were so many years I was pushing up against the dam, calling out to everybody, can't you see who I really am? He is a river, he is cool and deep. There are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. The other day my old pal Kate said, lately you are very gay. It made me happy when she said that, 'cause inside I really feel that way. Sometimes my hand in his seems to block up everyone's eyes, so they only see the river, not the big white sky. He is a river, he is cool and deep, but there are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. He is a river, he will always be, but there are birds on the banks of the Mississippi. Thank you. I would be remiss if I did not mention, I'd be remiss as in Katie Dahl, the business manager, would be angry at Katie Dahl, the artist, if I did not mention that I have I'm just starting my yearly, soon to start my yearly Patreon member drive. We've got some Patreon members in the house, I know. I call my Patreon page the Dahl House, D-A-H-L House. And we have a book club, do we not? Yes, woo! And we've got, and that's where I put new work. So like that song, you can only hear that song on, on my Patreon page, and it will be the case for a while. I have like 4 songs in process that I'm hoping that I'll have done soon and put up there, and so it's a great way to stay in touch. And it's $3 a month starting, or you can get a discount if you subscribe annually. Anyway, it's easy to find on my website, which is easy to find via my business card / Google. Okay, business manager, was that good enough? This is a song about what happens if a lazy Susan falls in love with a dumbwaiter. Doomed, everyone. Well, said the lazy Susan to the dumbwaiter, the only friend I got in this town. Why don't you come and take me dancing later? You could spin me round and round and round. The cook has got a ladle, the chef has got a lady, the baker's always whisking eggs away. If you were crazy for this lazy Susan, maybe you'd swirl me like a fancy French rosé. Just go up and down and up and down and up and then back down, jumping every time you hear the ding. When you gonna learn this world's direction is around? When you gonna break that string? Well, the flatware and the spatulas are always spooning, lonesome as a top without its spin. Won't you take some pity on this lazy Susan? Twist me like the lemon twists the gin. You just go up and down and up and down and up and then back down, bouncing like a broken Cuisinart. Ah, but if you took a chance, took to twirling me around, I'd get to work, and you'd get smart. Everyone whistle. Excellent. I've used to do it by myself, and I was like, I'm not a very good whistler, and why would I display that? But if we're all not very good whistlers together, or great whistlers together, it was just the case, then we all sound great. So said the lazy Susan to the dumb waiter, you're the only friend I got in this town. Why don't you come and take me dancing later? You could spin me round and round and round. Why don't you come and take me dancing later? You could spin me round and round and round. Thank you. Okay, everybody. It's time for the last song. I know. Which means that if you would, and by last song I mean that if you would respond in any fashion after this last song, then we will have our encore. I know. Nobody gets out of the two-way street. Exactly. But I'm going to switch it up a little bit, Alex. Are you willing to come up here now? Okay, instead of that way I don't have to retune. Welcome to the stage, Alex Campia. Woo! At the break, I just asked this nice man, who I happen to know is a beautiful singer, to sing a song that, oh, interesting, the MC mic. Will that work?
I got it.
Okay, wow.
Is there another mic I
Amazing.
should use?
No, that's great. I was just thinking we would, folk it up, and but this is better. I really appreciate you. Okay.
And this way we're more closely
That's
even
right.
in
I
height.
know. I know. Alex is very tall. That's why I had to specify that the earlier song was not about him. So this is another song from The Fisherman's Daughters, which Alex originated a role in. And normally Normally I make a little joke about how this song is a duet, and but you'll never know who's singing. But in this case, you will know who's singing in the duet. So this is a song that the younger sister and Alex's character, who is employed by the state of Wisconsin to curry favor among the townspeople for this park. They sing it together, and they're sort of bonding over their citydom, and their shared longing to have some rural space, some breathing room, you might say.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good way to put it.
Okay, yeah, what a segue. So, before I sing this, that was a really great segue, but I'm going to ruin it now to say, can we give a huge hand to the Two-Way Street Coffee House, which is just amazing. Like, Joel and Jennifer, you all are awesome. The volunteers are awesome. Randy, you are the best. I feel this is the third time I've played at this venue, and I feel like I appreciate so much now that I've been doing this job. It is a job, but for 15 years or something, I've been touring around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's amazing that there's music here every Friday night. Like, it's so much work to make that happen, and it requires people to come out of their houses on a snowy Friday, which all of you did, and I just feel really grateful that it exists, and what a nice feeling room. So thanks everyone, and for being here. Yay! Okay, now the last song.
I need a little breathing room when I'm feeling crowded in the city. Need a little green and blue when I'm feeling tired and gray. Oh, I need that sweet perfume when I'm feeling maddened by the city, a place of deep refuge from the loneliness of my days.
A place for the tired and worn to come and rest by the water. A place for the spirit that's torn by the weariness of life. A place for the old to be reborn, to come and rest by the water beneath the hemlock and the hawthorn, free from the stress and strife.
So we'll make a little breathing room for those who are crowded in the city. Leave a little green and blue for those who are tired and gray. Just a little sweet perfume for those who are maddened by the city. A place of deep refuge. A place of deep refuge from the loneliness of their days.
Alex Campia, everybody. Thank
Katie
you.
Dahl,
Oh,
everybody.
thank you. That was my final song. Thank you so much. I could not possibly do another song. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. What can I say? I'm so surprised. Well, this has been such a nice night. I have to say, it was a stressful week in my house. Some health stuff, not about me, but just about some various people around me, and this has felt like such a nice place of solace in a long week for the whole country. So thank you for making it so. So this song I wrote about. When I was a student, I went to Carleton College in Northfield, Minnesota, and I arrived on campus and promptly developed crushes on every professor I saw. Just like, wow, that one and that one and that one. And one in particular spoke at our new student convocation. And I sensed, immediately I was like entranced by her. And I also sensed that she was sad. I was like, this lady is sad. And you know what? All these other 18-year-old new students, they're not wise or worldly enough to sense her sadness in the way that I, wise 18-year-old, am very able to sense it. And if only she knew what I can tell, you know, like the possibilities for us, endless, you know. And so I asked my advisor, I was like, you know, that lady who spoke at our new student convocation, what does she teach? And he said, Russian. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm taking Russian. Fortunately, she taught one Russian culture class that was in English, so I took that one. And I did attend religiously every one of her office hours in hopes that she would, you know, see what I could see. And as far as I know, she never got wise to my extreme emotional perception and depth. But I did get an A, so that was a side effect. So I felt that the A symbolized more, you know. Deep down, she did understand, and the A meant she really got it. So apparently, I'm still thinking about it 20 years later, and I wrote this song. Thanks, everybody. I'll be hanging out 3 feet away, right over there after the show. Skinny waist, skinny smile, you see your mother in the mirror every once in a while, that's right. You're still her child. I see your big heart beating, it's gonna bust right out. That brown tweed blazer and your yellow blouse, that's right. I see you choking on the words in your mouth. Hey, hey, this is a summer grass. Take off that winter jacket, cut the chit-chat. Don't give me any of that. All I wanna know is what makes you sad. Colored glass, stony church. I saw you look up at the ceiling when you talked about her, that's right. I could see it hurt. Whoa, is she walking with another by the big blue domes? Did you have to leave her lying in the catacombs? That's right. Either way, you're walking alone. Hey, hey, this is the summer grass. Take off that winter jacket, cut the chit-chat. Don't give me any of that. All I wanna know is what makes you sad. You've got something in you, it's like something in me. I see it in your writing, in the microfiche. I see it in the heavy way you're walking down the street. I see it in your class when I'm sitting at your feet. 'Cause sad girls wear bright boots and I'm wearing some bright boots too. So let me show you the map on the soles of my shoes. You'll know that I knew what I knew, that I knew you. So turn in your grades, come out in the rain. We'll watch that Cannon River shoot its banks, that's right. Let's watch it flood the plain. Hey, hey, this is the summer grass. Take off that winter jacket, cut the chit-chat. Don't give me any of that. All I wanna know is what makes you sad. Unstack your stacking doll, put down that Russian novel. Tell me all about your little purple pill bottle. All I wanna know, all I wanna know, all I wanna know. Thanks, everybody. Drive so safe.
Now, she did her official encore, so I'm not going to make her do another one. We planned it out that way. Right. So thank you to Katie.
Thank you, yeah.
And thank you to our volunteers. We had Chris and Debbie at the counter, Randy doing sound, Joel was helping with the door. My name is Jennifer. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Drive safely.
Yeah, drive safely.
Thank you.